not too much, unfortunately, but I guess there will be that will be changed after next week, I suppose. I mean, we're going to this kick-ass festival. That's what we hear, and I assume there will be lots and lots of great Mexican artists and musicians there that we can get familiar with. So looking forward to that.
I guess there are a number of bands in not only Sweden but Scandinavia. I would say that paved the way for a lot of Swedish bands, like mainly abroad, like outside of Sweden, in Europe, in Latin America, in North America, even Australia and Asia as well. Like you said, the Hives, Refused, Backyard Babies, Helicopters, like Lucifer, Turbo Negro, all these kinds of bands really paved the way for you know the live bands, the live rock band scene, kind of, and showed that it's possible to do that thing. Still is. Not only was it possible in the 80s or 90s or 2000s, but it's possible now, which was really cool for a band like us to have those role models, so to say, pave the way and show the way. And now it's our turn. And we worked for 15 years in Europe, and we built the band, and we have, it's a pretty good gig right now. It's a really cool time to be in World Republic. So really excited to try something new and see some new places, and yeah, get to Mexico. I think.
I mean,
Sorry, Hannes, you go.
uh, I mean, we've been exploring since day one, pretty much, and we're still exploring. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows what the future might bring?
We should
But
actually change the name of the band to like Explorers or something. It would be pretty
it would
cool.
be way more suitable, like crystal clear from the get-go.
Okay.
I think we're all kids of the 80s, and we started out with a pretty narrow sound palette, if you know what I mean. Like you have a four-piece band, two guitars, bass, drums, and that's how we wrote the songs, with playing it, performing it on stage, being in mind a lot. That we didn't really take the production any further than that. And as we matured as a band, the music, I think, and the sound matured, and we grew into sounding more like us than our influences, if you know what I mean. And if a song needs a sound to be great, then we're gonna go for that sound. We're not gonna be stopped by genre boundaries or rules like in rock or in garage rock or disco rock or this or that. We don't give a shit about the labels. We want to make good music, and we're gonna stop at nothing to get there in our
Stories. I think I think whenever we go places where we haven't been before, it sort of sets up the whole memorable thing. So we're really excited to come to Mexico, to come to Latin America and play a new part of the world, because we don't know what's going to happen, and that's setting the stage for something new and
yeah,
something fun.
yeah, it's scary and exciting at the same time.
Right. New stuff.
Just go to my vinyl shelf. I don't know.
I was gonna do the same. So this is the first one that this is actually this was on top of my vinyl thingy here. You see it? No, just a gigolo.
Wow.
Where is it?
So
Here we
that's
go.
the original soundtrack from Just a Gigolo, featuring Village People, Marlene Dietrich, and the Manhattan Transfer. And then we have Pink Floyd, the final cut. Good stuff, right?
Okay.
Well,
But it's
let's see if the other guys recognize this one.
I can see it.
Blur.
It's pretty
Ah,
blurry.
Here we go. Focus.
Pokemon.
Yeah, it's hard to see it, but it's a vinyl actually from a great French act called Kokomo, and they were supporting us. What is it, like 2 years ago? And it was a really fun tour. Great music, great entertainment. You should invite them to Mexico as well.
Last thing I did was I restocked some stuff that I mean, I've known these records forever, or since 2002, respectively five. It's a Norwegian band called Glucifer. I don't know if you can see me right now because I can't see myself, but this one's called Automatic Thrill, and this one's called Basement Apes. They're both Lucifer albums, two of the greatest rock albums that I know of. That I was like heavily into these when I formed the band. Also, this one came up off the top here. It's I don't know if you know this woman. It's Tina Turner. She's dead now, but you can still listen to the music. It still rocks. Love this album. Love Tina Turner. Awesome girl. And
I
Donna
love her
Summer.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad Girls. And Test Press of Love Cop. Those are the closest five I could reach for.
Wow.
Yeah.
My vinyl collection is on the other side of my mansion, so I only have this one.
Okay.
Oh, that's an amazing one.
It's a great vinyl record.
I hear it
So
sounds
the
just like the
man-
Hives. I see it as a little bit of both, to be honest. I'm very, very happy. I think all of us are. None of us went into this for fame. I think I have to speak for everybody when I say we don't want to be famous people. We would love to be a famous band, you know what I mean? But I really enjoy being able to go to the grocery store and most of the time, nobody like following me around or take pictures and stuff. You know, we get to take the occasional pictures and sign some stuff. And, you know, mostly people come up and say, hey, I love your music. And they were just happy. And that's fine. But I think it's a blessing to have like your own backyard where you can just be and hang. I think basically due to the fact that we don't have as many places to play being live bands. You know, we used to maybe in the 90s or 2000s. There were a lot of festivals still going strong, and rock music was still kind of part of the pop culture, I guess. Now it's very much. I mean, just since we started, how many clubs were there when we started out? There were so many clubs all over this town only in Malmö, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We played the majority of them. We played like, 10 places or so in this city only. And now there's like one or two places to play. And it was the same all over Sweden. Same with festivals. So for live bands who built their reputation and their image and their platform by performing on stage, it's become a more narrow market, if you know what I mean. Like so many bands fight for so few spots. And I think that has a lot to do with it. So alive, where live music is alive and well in other parts of the world, other parts of Europe, that's where those kinds of bands can thrive and, make a name for themselves, like we've done, like a lot of bands have done. Sorry, go ahead.
First of all, it's never been like we're intentionally trying to stay out of any box or any labels. It's more a matter of us doing whatever we feel like doing, So it's pretty much the other way around.
I think at the beginning it was we didn't have much of our own thing. We didn't really have we set out to sound like a bunch of bands, and then it was more painful when people compared us to those bands because we knew we didn't have our own identity yet. But nowadays, I feel like we have our own identity, and when somebody compares us to the Hives, I love the Hives, but I feel like we definitely have matured into our own thing, even though we're eclectic and we draw influences from, we're influenced by a large variety of music. I still think we have our own thing now and our own sort of color palette that we use. So it doesn't bother me as much anymore.
If anything, I would just like shrug it off as being, you still hear people go like, I remember seeing when we released My House from the last time, somebody's like, oh, it's the Hives straight up. I was like, that's just really lazy journalism. That is just like somebody who's not doing their job. And I honestly, I think we're grown up enough to know I don't care. It's whatever. Do whatever you want. It will most certainly be our first time playing in Mexico. In Latin
not
America
only playing in Mexico, none of us have been to Mexico at all.
No.
So we're very, very much excited about this whole trip. Not only playing music, but I mean the whole experience is going to be great. Hopefully.
I think this is exactly the kind of situation that we've always loved being in. Like going somewhere for the first time and playing to an audience that maybe nowadays there are a little more expectations, but it used to be like you go up on a big stage in front of a lot of people and nobody really knows who you are. So there are no expectations, and you know, you gotta prove yourself to people. And at least me, I think all of us have this like sporty attitude to it that, you know, we like the challenge. We love the challenge, in fact. So whenever that opportunity presents itself, I think we're all excited and happy. So
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah,
really see
and
any problem. It's yeah.
And honestly, if there's one thing we're extremely good at, it's winning people over. So I think it'll be all right. Maybe I said too much.
Wow.
Wow, that's very honest of you.
Yeah.
Very bold.
Very Swedish. Very Swedish.
I'm concerned about the heat.
Yes.
Main concern.
See you
Cool,
guys.
thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good.